We have 6 Australian Labradoodle puppies. They can all see, they can all hear. This is their week 3 litter update, and in today's video we're going to tell you all about what's happened with the puppies in the past week, how they've moved to their new location, what's happening with Mama Labradoodle Mandy here, and we're going to talk about the various toys. And the most important subject of all, we're going to start talking about desensitization and socialization. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles, and this all-girl litter is thriving. They are growing, they are all mobile, and they are starting to play. Not just with each other, but with toys. So you'll see we've moved them. So why did we move them? We moved the puppies because, as you'll see when they finish eating, they are so mobile now. They can all walk, they can all run, albeit with a little bit of tottering and teetering. They do fall over lots, but they are very mobile. So it's important that we give them lots of space to spread out and the opportunity to develop their coordination and also their muscle tone. They are still mostly hanging out in their beds, and we have 2 different beds here for them. This one is one that I've made for them. I call it a cuddle bed. It's very soft, it's really comforting, and the sides are not so stiff like in our donut beds that you can get from curated canines. So they're not so stiff, so it's easy when you're little for it to collapse because mom's lying on it, and to navigate over it. And you'll see it has a really good texture that provides lots of purchase in terms of getting your feet underneath you. Now this bed is only going to stay here for a little while longer. Just because when they're this young, I don't want them to get stuck in a loop, and I don't want them to be trying to chew on it and getting the fluff in them. Once they're older, it's totally fine, but for now we're going to replace that bed with one that's more like this. And this is called a raised crate mat bed. This can fit in a crate. It's really good for taking when you're traveling or going to a friend's place and you want your dog to have something that's familiar but also is really easy to transport. Same as with these beds that I make, they're really easy. They all just roll up and you can take them wherever you go. Both of them go in the washing machine and the dryer. But just because this one at this age where they're still so little has some things that could possibly be dangerous for them, we're going to move over to this one for the next couple of weeks, and then we'll bring these ones back in for them. So you can see the puppies are growing like weeds. They're so much larger than they were when they started off. And you can see as well that their colors have changed. They're much darker than when they were first born. So you can really see now that we're getting more of this apricot coloring coming in on the apricot girls. Except for purple color here, she's still really almost more like a cream. And then pink and burgundy are reds for sure. And then orange is sort of halfway in between. But as I said, Mandy was sort of the same color as orange when she was young. And you can see now she's a super dark red. So who knows? We just have to wait and see. So the puppies moved into this larger space when they started showing us that they wanted to move around, and more importantly because they were going to the bathroom on their own. And so in a small space it's impossible to keep that tidy and clean and sanitary. Puppies are dirty. There's just no 2 ways about it. When they're this little and they're just learning how to go to the bathroom outside of the nest, it's going to be always a constant cleanup. So this area that we have here is about, I would say about 7 feet square, I think. And it has a door at the far end that we leave open, so Mandy can come and go from this area whenever she wants. Our dogs can come in if they want. The only one who wants to is Ripple. Ripple comes in throughout the day. She comes, she kisses them, she checks their bums. She'll even clean their bums if Mandy's having a nap or some Mandy time. She'll bring her ball in, and what else does she do? She tries to steal all the toys. Ripple is toy obsessed, and so she will come and usually take something out. Now she'll also leave something other than her favorite toys, but she'll often come and bring something in, play with the puppies, and then leave it here. So it's really nice for Mandy to have a trusted auntie to help her raise the puppies. It gives her time to herself, and it allows her to feel really confident when she's not with the puppies that they're totally fine. So in the room we have pee pads everywhere, because as I was saying, they're just learning not to go to the bathroom where they sleep. And you'll see on the pee pads there is some pee right now. Now the advantage of the pee pads is they're kind of like kids' diapers. They have an inner core, so it draws the moisture in, it holds it, it has a waterproof backing on it, and it keeps it dry on the surface. So if they decide they're going to go over there and sleep, then they're not lying in liquid, which is not what we want them to be doing. And you can see where I think Reynolds just showed you the couple of pee spots on the pee pads. They're far away from where their bed is. So this is their natural instinct. They naturally do not want to go to the bathroom in the spot where they sleep, and where they sleep is also where they eat, because Mandy chooses to lie in the bed to nurse them. And so already we are working on that natural instinct where we provide the pee pads here, because, but trust me, they don't all pee down there all the time. Lots of times there's pee right here, but they are getting out of the bed. They're getting the idea. And over time, they'll move farther and farther away. And as they get older, they'll start to use the doggy door. And by the time they're six-ish weeks old, starting at 6 weeks, particularly when we start our Head Start program, then Reynolds will start taking them out very first thing, or I will, whoever's here first, and they will wait during the night and they'll go outside. And they'll learn that outside is where it is that we want to go. And they will naturally prefer to do that as well. So like I said, the puppies are all playing with each other now. You can see over here that there's a little bit of playing maybe going on, or it may be that Red wants to play and Purple and Burgundy don't, and they're trying to get away from her. This also gives the puppies lots of space to go do their own thing. If they don't want to be with the rest of the group, they can all do whatever suits them. And Pink is showing you that she likes to play with Mom. And Mandy's pretty good about playing with them. She still does her serious business of keeping them clean, but she also will interact and play with them. She doesn't mind at all if they're back there chewing on her tail or her foot. And she does a really good job of making sure that she's looking after and meeting all of their needs. So now, along with tottering around, and you can see Purple, I think, is going to poop for us. That's just what we all want to watch, is the puppy pooping. Or, nope, she was just peeing. That's good. So see, that's a pretty good distance from the bed. She got out, she walked over there, and then over to there. Now you see how she's trying to get into this bed. So this is what I'm talking about. These have more sturdy sides, and it's more of a challenge to get in when you're just a little kid and you haven't got all of your balance worked out yet. So we encourage them, and sometimes we help them. We'll put the side down and just make it easier for them to accomplish what they're trying to do. Because we don't want to have a frustrated puppy. We want to have a puppy who is achieving what they're aiming for, and that we're supporting in reaching their goals. And there she goes now. She's back right where she wants to be. See her little tail starting to go. I just love it when their tails start to wag. Now I have to tell you, these puppies all have fantastic hearing, and they all open their ears really, really soon after they open their eyes. If you go back to our week 2 video update, there were some puppies whose eyes were not open or were only partially open last week. And I can tell you that within 3 days after that, so by the time they were 17 days old, they all had their ears open. That's super early. And for everybody to have their ears open almost simultaneously, that is something doesn't happen all that often. Now, the other thing we've been doing is changing collars because they are growing. So you can see here with Pink Collar Girl, I can still get my finger in there. That's what I'm looking for. As long as I can get my finger in, the collar's okay. Red Collar Girl, she's got more of a grown-up collar going on now. She had outgrown her little fabric one, this one here, the fleecy. So she has a real one. Same with Purple. Purple has a more substantial collar on her as well. Burgundy's still got lots of space in hers. Orange, Orange is still, but tomorrow she'll need a more grown-up girl collar. And this here over here, Miss Black, what is yours like? And Miss Black is totally fine as well. So we check those throughout the day, usually at least once a day. The other thing that's happening with these puppies is their nails are growing. So they are getting to have fairly sharp nails. So this is something that we have to start doing now, where we clip their nails regularly. So this is to protect Mandy's milk bar. Nobody wants to have a bunch of sharp nails dragging along their mammary glands. Owie, owie, owie. We also don't want her to have scratches because we don't want her to be getting any type of opportunity for infection. So we do clip the puppy's nails. Now for you, as one of the prospective parents of these puppies, that means your puppy comes home already quite accustomed to having their feet handled and their nails done. You see how Black is having a little bit of a fit right now? She's like, I want down. I don't want to be held anymore. And so we don't want her to be frustrated, but we also want her to not be associating me having touched her feet with getting down. So there, we get her calmed down again, which wasn't that hard to do. And we go back, we touch her feet. Mandy's all upset that she was upset. And we put her back where she belongs, and I'll let Mandy settle her down. She's already settled down. But that's just something that we never want to have the puppy associating what we're doing with something bad. And that's the real key to socialization and desensitization. And Black just gave me the perfect segue into that conversation. So I've got Burgundy now, and I'm handling her feet. I'm touching each toe and going in between. She sees Mom, and she's going to want to go to Mom. So I'm going to distract her from Mom. I'm going to give her big open face with lots of smiles. I'm trying to smile without showing my teeth, because teeth are a sign of aggression if you're a dog. Just engaging her. I know her eyesight is not perfect yet, and she's really just looking at a bunch of blurriness. I'm rubbing the sides of her face at the same time because she likes that. And then I'm just making sure that we're associating the whole time with me with something good, and using my puppy voice. There we go. There you go, little girl. So what is key to desensitization and socialization, which is what you're going to be doing once you get your puppy home, is that it's not how many things you expose your dog to, but that you expose them to things that give them a positive response. So let's see, who haven't I had here? I haven't had you, I don't think. No, I haven't had Miss Red. Let's say I took Red Collar Girl and we did something like this. And she was having a bad response to it. Okay, so then what do you do if your dog's not having a positive response, but you want to make sure that they're not having a reaction to noises, no startle reaction? So what you do is you would get your puppy calmed down like I did with Black there when she was having her little fit. And then you come back, and after a few minutes, then you just do it more gently, like this. where there's no response. And then you, yay, that's really good. You give them a treat. Then you move up next time to a little bit more and more and more and more, so that you teach them that there's nothing to be worried about and they do have that positive experience. So it's really just a matter of letting your puppy know that you are always there to protect them, that you've got their back, that you're not going to force them to do anything they don't like. Later on, when your puppy is a bit older and people come up to you when you've got your puppy, Purple, you're going to be the example dog now, and you're walking along with your puppy or you're holding your puppy. Oh, can I pet your puppy? Oh, so cute. Or sometimes they don't even ask. They just, oh, what a cute puppy. And if you've got your puppy here and they're like, oh, right in their face, or they take their hand like this to pet them, and the poor dog's like, holy smokes, I only just met you, what's going on? It can be really scary for them. Some dogs it doesn't bother in the least. You can see Purple didn't care in the least that I had my hand going towards her. Instead, she's probably going to fall asleep. But what you want to do is stop. Just take your dog, turn your back with your dog. If they're on the ground, pick them up. Just let them know that you've got them, they're safe. Ask the person, just hang on for a second. Let me explain how to do things for you. And then you let them know how to properly meet your puppy. You give them a treat and you carry on from there. But the key here that I want everybody to understand is it's not how many things you expose your puppy to, but how you expose them, and that you make sure the experience is positive. So now that the puppies can hear and they have room to make decisions, we're starting to desensitize them. And Rendell, can you just pass me a small bowl, please? One of the things we start off with is sound desensitization, because sound is something that a lot of dogs, thank you, have issues with. You'll hear lots of people who say their dogs are scared of thunder or they're scared of fireworks. So we do things like this. All sorts of different sounds, and we just see what they do, and you can see they're all paying attention. Mandy's going to come and say, what are you doing with my babies now? Mandy often gives me a face like, really? What are you thinking? She doesn't remember that we already did all of that with her when she was a puppy, which is one of the reasons why she has a very low startle reflex. She barks her head off right now because she has puppies, and that's what we want from a good mama. That is what we want from our very good mamas, especially one as good as Mandy, yes, because she's excellent. But we don't want to see that in our dogs under normal circumstances. Now, Miss Black is having a little bit of an exciting adventure there while she's sleeping, so I'm just going to wake her up, pet her under the chin. Now, I was showing you about putting your hand in front of a dog like that. Now, Mandy, of course, is not scared of me at all. She knows me. But even when I do this, she kind of does that, because imagine that's happening to you. When you approach a strange dog, you don't give them the back of your hand. You don't put your hand over top of them. What you do is you get down to their level and you approach them from the side, and you touch them on the side of their face, underneath their chin, and when they're ready, you go over to the sides by their ears, and then you can touch them on their neck. Dogs really don't like being petted on top of their heads all that much. It's all about the side. Yeah, it's all about the side. That's what the dogs like the most. Isn't that right, Mandy? Yes, it is. What a good girl you are. And smiling, open face. If you can make your body into an S, and you kind of make yourself very much so that it's like, oh, I am not scary at all. Those are all the things that dogs look for. And while we will talk a lot about good eye contact, when you meet a dog, you don't want to do this, because that's a sign of aggression. So when Mandy and I are talking and we're having a conversation like this, both of us will look off over one another's shoulders. That's not natural for me. I do that because that's how dogs work. I can understand that and I can change my behavior. Whereas for Mandy, she doesn't get it. She only knows how she speaks. And if I keep staring right in her face, she's going to wonder, well, what the heck is Mom kind of being aggressive about? What is going on here? Whereas if I look at her like this and then kind of go like this, my eyes are soft, I drop my gaze, I come back. It's a sort of loving look back over here, always with your head slightly bowed. She gets it, and I'm no threat whatsoever. Now, if I'm trying to communicate with Mandy or any of my dogs and say, you know, you're doing something I don't like, then I look them directly in the eye. My face is like this, my posture changes, so I'm a bit more rigid, and I will put myself up a little bit in height if possible. Height is power to dogs. This is one of the reasons why they jump up. ALDs jump up because they're very friendly. They're not trying to overpower you. That's just them saying, oh my gosh, I love you. You're a person. Let's be best friends. So just a few little tips to keep in mind with etiquette when it comes to dog body language, how you can present yourself. The keys are down at their level, S shape, soft body, no direct eye contact, and smiling without showing all of your teeth, no matter how nice they are. Now let's talk a little bit about the toys that we have in here. We have a selection of things that I'm going to show you. One of them is a little far away, but we'll talk about it in a minute. So first of all, we have this funny little thing that's hanging off the side of the crate. So this is here because it's very visually obvious to the puppies. The colors orange and red are not colors that puppies can see, or adult dogs, but they can discern that there's brightness here. All of these colors are nice and bright. This is actually for a human baby. Then we've got a couple of things that dangle. Some of the things that were on here originally are missing. This is probably about 5 or 6 years old, I think now. This has been chewed a little bit, but it's still there, still working. And we've got the little flower here. And you'll see the texture. It's quite soft and malleable, although it's still got some heft to it. Perfect for teething, because yes, these guys are already teething a little bit, in that they are getting their teeth coming through, so they are trying to chew to get those teeth through. So we want to make sure they have something where they get satisfaction and they feel like they're able to get into it. We don't want to give them something that's just hard like this plastic, because they don't have the strength to get to that yet. And so that's just frustrating and they'll walk away. We also have another one here that kind of makes a bit of a clanky noise. See how nobody does anything? That's what I want. That's the kind of response I want to noise. And that's about the level that we have for puppies of this age. We're not like shooting off fireworks yet. They'll get to fireworks, but not yet. We just want nice, you know, kind of regular levels of sounds. When we come in, we'll talk a bit louder like this. We'll clap our hands. And we'll do things like that, and see, Mandy will come back again to make sure that nothing's wrong, that she's okay, that the puppies are okay, that I'm okay. It's all good. And you'll see that the puppies, they were completely fine during that. We have a few squeaky things too. This toy here, this is a squeaker. And you can see Mandy likes this one. So the reason we have this one is for Mandy, I guess. The reason we have it is it does have that squeaker. If they happen to step on it, it may go off, or Mandy may make it go off as she plays with it. At the end, we have a spot that's corduroy rather than the fleece fabric. I'm just going to throw it for her. So there's different textures in the mouth. We want them to get used to feeling different things in their mouths, because soon enough, we're going to start to teach them what our skin is like, and to learn that we don't want them to be chewing on skin. Right now, we're just letting them chew on everything, understand that things feel different in your mouth. This little monkey here, similar sort of thing. There's the soft texture on the paws. There's a squeaker. There's some corduroy in there. It's a little bit smaller, so if any of them are feeling overwhelmed by the little pink one there that Mandy took off with, then this one's more a size appropriate for a baby puppy. And then we have a little gingerbread man that's off towards the front here. And really, it's just there because it provides, thanks, Riddle, a lot of squeakiness. Now this one, the puppies can squeak on their own. And I can tell you that this one, Ripple brought in for the babies. This is one of Ripple's prized possessions. This thing has been a toy for Ripple for, I don't know, at least 6 years. You can see it's completely intact, and you're not allowed to wreck it because she'll be mad at you. Yes. And she loves it. She'll make it squeak. And she likes to take it, she puts it in her mouth, and she'll put it beside my head on my pillow at night or in the morning. It's her gift to me. So she was giving it as a gift to the puppies. It's a perfect thing for the puppies. Nice and soft, good size, and easy for them to make the squeaker go. So I'm just going to put that behind me because I don't want Mandy to get it and rip it to shreds, because Ripple would be annoyed with me if that happened. So all of the toys that are in, oh yes, and then there's the pink gorilla here behind me, and he's hanging up by his or her arms. Again, this is just here so they see it and they get used to having a visual thing that is not the same as what they look like. We want to give them different things to see. Now in the Doodle Den, they see all sorts of things. Our dogs come in and out of here. Our dogs eat in here. The dishes are washed in here. Bathing goes on in here. The dog's hair dryer goes on in here. There's a machine over here that's I think you call it an air exchanger for our house, and it goes off and on. And we also have a dehumidifier for in here, which runs pretty much 24/7. Then there's the freezers behind me as well, which are fairly quiet but do still make some noises. And then the door into the main part of the house, we can close or we can open. At this far end, we have the overhead garage door, because the Doodle Den did used to be a garage. And that door, you can hear anything that's out on the street. So when the garbage truck comes by, when a delivery vehicle comes, we have a gravel driveway, crunch, 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 backup sounds from vehicles that have the beep beeps on them. They can hear the garbage cans being wheeled in and out, all sorts of everyday, day-to-day sounds. Things that then become just background for them. All part of the desensitization and why we have the puppies in the Doodle Den. When we open the door into the house, they hear all of our normal everyday life sounds. But we don't want to be just bombarding them. We need them to be able to have this deep puppy sleep. They have to sleep in order to grow. And that's something that they're doing very quickly right now. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and move on to their weights and wrap up today's video. I just left their weights over on the counter. We weighed them just before the video. Randall's just going to hand me the book here. It's our very high-tech way of recording their weights. I don't weigh them every day now. Now I just weigh them in just before the video so that you can keep track of their weights. So as always, we're going to go in birth order, and we're going to start with Burgundy collar here. This little lady was the first puppy born, and there she comes. Now I want to show you on her coat here. If I take her coat and brush it backwards, you can see that it's a little bit lighter underneath. So that tells me that it's quite likely that this little lady's coat is going to lighten somewhat. Hello, my baby angel. So she's very tired, and she's doing just what I want her to do, looking towards me. This is what I talk about when I say good eye contact, where she's looking to find me. If it was Mandy, she would look to find Mandy. She's just looking for the comfort. She wants to establish a relationship, and she's acknowledging me by giving me a kiss, which is ever so nice. And these are all the kinds of things that we notice and we write down for our notes about each of the puppies that all form part of our assessment for when we're matching our puppies with our families. A yaboo. Miss Burgundy is 975 grams. Oh, she's such a good girl. Now you see how she went. One thing you do need to remember is if you have any sort of products on your face, I have a tinted moisturizer that I wear that also has a sunscreen, and I have lip gloss that also is a sunscreen on my lips. I know the puppies are going to lick me, so I make sure that the products I have are 100% natural. There's no this, that, or the other thing in it. So if they do lick it, it won't harm them. But you can tell that obviously it's something that's, it's a little bit of a different taste. And she's still trying to get it off her tongue there. She must have gotten a good little bit on her tongue. Next, we're going to look at Pink Collar Girl. Woo, come here, baby girl. Pink Collar Girl, who is needing a new collar pretty much very soon. This one's okay till tomorrow. Pink Collar, she is our first puppy in the list to break the 1 kilogram mark. Pink Collar is the biggest puppy today, and she is 1.06. Ta-da! What an accomplishment, my little love. Now you see, she too is looking at me. She's got her eyes going sideways. She's looking, oh, now she's going to look the other way. She says, I don't want to look at you. Are you crazy? I'm trying to find a way to get out of here. Yes, I am. And each time we're with them is sometimes a bit different. There we go. Now she knows it's me. The way she knows it's me, the way she recognized me there is because she smelled my breath. And she knows that's me. They all know who I am from the scent of me, but also more from what my breath is like, because I always have them up close to me. I'm always kissing them and telling them what good puppies they are. So that's our little lady there. Sorry, she was looking at me more than she was looking at the camera. And you're the ones who want to see what her pretty little face looks like. This girl is a real sweetheart. She's so easygoing. I've noticed already how just relaxed she is about everything. So I'm just going to put her back over here because we're not going to need to pick her up again. There you go. That's a good girl. Then we have Black Collar Girl. Black Collar Girl is one of the lighter colored puppies, the apricots. And I think she's pretty much the same sort of shade as she was as when she was born. There we go, baby. Hi. There we go. Hi. Hi, sweetheart. Hello. There we go. We got instant recognition from her. She's looking over there. She knows that Reynolds is there. She can't see him. The light is very bright in your eyes, but also it's a little bit too far for her little puppy eyes to be able to discern. And you can see how much more black is filling in her nose now. The pink nose is so sweet, but when she gets her black nose, she's going to be just drop dead gorgeous. She's got a little nice baby girl. And Miss Black is exactly 1 kilogram. Yay! Oh, that's such a big yawn there. This little girl is also very much like Pink. They all have very sweet and gentle demeanors. I can tell that they have a really good combination of mom and dad in there. Dad also has a really great way about him, but I can really see Mandy coming through in all of these puppies. Purple Collar Girl is our smallest puppy. And that's her right there. She too is an apricot. She, I believe, has darkened up a little bit from her birth color. And her head is a little bit darker color than her body is. Hi, cutie pie. This little girl, well, she kind of steals my heart. She's got those cute little high ears, and because she's tiny, and she's often the one that I come in and help her get a spot at the milk bar. And we spend lots of time making sure that you get right in there and that nobody pushes you out. She doesn't really need any of the help anymore. She's a very strong puppy, gentle, kind spirit. And Miss Purpy is 925 grams. And if you remember from when we've done our weights earlier in when we were doing the puppies, there was quite a big difference between her and the other puppies. So when everybody else was well into the 500 grams on the 15th of November, she was just getting into the 400 grams. So there was a big gap between her and the other puppies. And as I was saying then, she would catch up, and here we are, she's just 50 grams away from burgundy collar. So she's really close, and 925 to a kilogram. It's only 75 grams, which is really nothing. There you go, Miss Perpy Derpy. She's very solid, by the way. She's perfectly proportioned. And you can see actually on Purple, you can see her coat is starting to lift a bit, even over here. So next week, same with Red, when we come back next week with the update, I expect some of them will look like they're having a bad hair day, because I can see their coat is lifting. And what that is right now they look like labs with their coat right flush against their bodies. When it starts to lift, then that's when we start getting that ALD fluffiness that we all love so much. Red Collar Girl, thank you for coming over. I don't have anything to eat, honey girl. No, but I put you back in your bed, okay? There you go. You snug up in there. Red Collar Girl, here we go. Hello, my sweetheart. This one is the one I was just showing you with the coat lifting. Now you can see she almost looks like she has sort of highlighted waves through her coat. On the back here you can see it a bit too. What I think that is indicating is that her coat will probably have a tad more curl to it. We'll have to wait and see, but it's definitely going to be wavy. It already has that wavy look to it. It's so pretty, yes. Oh, it's lovely waves that people would pay hundreds of dollars at the hairstylist for. Yeah, and you just have it naturally. Hi, good girl. Hi. Hi, I can tell Red Collar's eyes are coming into focus a little bit more than the other ones are, because you could see her there when she was looking at me and she was putting her head back, because it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's something. Oh, what is that? A great big head. And Red is 1.04 kilograms. So we've got 4 of them almost all identical in weight, and they're so close, all of them. And last but not least is our orange collar girl, also an apricot. I just put you down there, baby. You okay? Yeah, good girl. Orange collar. See, this is one of the things that's nice about these beds and why I really don't want to take them away from them. They love to use them for a pillow. Also, because it's got these sides, they'll burrow into the side here, because it gives them what the crate does. It gives them like a den feeling. It also mimics being cuddled up next to mom, which now, as you can see, doesn't happen. Mandy's just directly in front of the puppy's X-Pen, and she's out there so she can hear, see, and know what's going on, but she's already teaching them independence. Dogs are so much better at parenting than people, I tell you. Orange collar girl, let's take a look at you, my little sweet. One thing to focus on here, this little adorable white tip on the end of her tail. I just think white tips on the end of the tail are the cutest little things. So you can see she's got just a smidge of one there. When she gets older, it won't be quite as obvious as that, but the coated color hair and coat will go around it, and in the center you'll see that white. And if you get a good groomer, they'll be able to make sure that that white little tip is highlighted, because it's kind of like a little flag when they wave their tail when they've got those tips there. Hi, beautiful. Hi, did I disturb your sleep? I'm sorry. And you can see Orange Collar has a little bit of that wave going on in her coat too. And you can see how she's starting to lift here. So I suspect that she's got quite a bit of lift going on. Next week, when they start lifting on the top of their heads, sometimes it looks like they have horns. And sometimes that coincides with when they become devilish too. So it's rather appropriate. So Miss Orange Collar is also 1.04 grams. So she and Red are tied, as they often have been, either exactly the same weight or within a gram or two of one another. So that's our update for this week. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I have to apologize to everyone who I said, please leave us a comment, and then I didn't reply. YouTube has this new way of handling comments on your videos. I used to always get a notification saying so-and-so commented, and I could go back and talk to you. Now it doesn't show up anywhere on my channel. I have to go to a whole different section, look and find them, and then answer. So I found some from as long as 11 months ago that I hadn't responded to. So I feel just terrible about that, and I apologize. And now that I know where they are and that YouTube's not pushing out notifications anymore, I will be sure to go and check more regularly, because I really like your comments. I really like to hear what you think of the videos, and I also enjoy interacting with you. So please leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the video. Was this something useful and helpful? Did you learn something? Have you got questions from watching it? Is there some topic you would like us to cover that we don't generally talk about? I love to hear from you, and I'm really happy to share whatever it is that you would like to know more about. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, and we hope you'll be with us again next week for our week 4 litter update and maybe some really interesting hairstyles. Thanks so much for watching.